Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? It is February 2nd, which means it is Tuesday. Wait, okay. Tuesday as in Twosday, but not it's Wednesday today. But actually on February 22nd, that'll fall on the actual day of the week of Tuesday. So you'll have 22222 on Tuesday. Kind of mind-bogglingly painful to think about, but yes. Anyway, welcome to week 16 of this week's of the Be College Ready seminar. Once again, my name is Dale, and I will be helping to facilitate you all when you're watching these videos from home. So yes, last time we talked. What did we talk about? Yes, we talked about college search engines and how to actually find different ways to filter out colleges that are more specific to you and what your preferences are. Well, today we're going to be going a bit more in depth on that, and we're going to be talking just about how to make lists of college. So yeah, so before that, we're just going to very quickly go over our vision and mission statements as always. So our vision here is to elevate people's growth mindsets so we all achieve higher ambitions. Of course, as you are growing older, we want you all to continuously uh, expand your mindsets and your thinking processes so that way in whatever endeavor you pursue you can maximize the most out of it, right? Right. And then for the mission statement, we want to guide first generation high school students so that they will pursue and obtain a college education. We don't just want you all to go to college, we want you to also get a degree and hopefully something further down the line, but baby steps. So yes, so that is our mission, of course. And then if we could, there we go. So what is the purpose behind these college ready seminars? So we want to guide you towards being ready for college. Once again, it is really common for a lot of people to just not be ready for college or not how to prepare for it. And we want to alleviate that stress so that when you go to college, you can be as ready as possible. So yeah, as well, we want to help you build your portfolio to prepare for college and scholarship applications. Sometimes it can just be really hard, especially when you're a first generation student trying to figure out how to apply for college. How do you build your college resume? How do you apply for scholarships? How do you list out the things that you're involved with? So we definitely want to help you all out in learning how to plan that out. And then finally, we want to increase your awareness of who you are and what direction you want to go. Of course, everybody's on their own journey, and what you want in life tends to fluctuate at times. So we want to help you to at least be able to give you that platform from which you can spring off of and continue to learn more about yourself as you apply those everyday skills in your everyday life. Great. So yeah, so this week for the program, we're going to be gaining perspective on your college options. Now, what do we mean by this? Now, so what we mean is that in every college, there are different ways that students think about the program that they're in or about their college experiences. Everything really just varies. Everyone has a different experience. So how do you learn more about the experiences of those in college? Well, that's what we're going to be getting into today. Three lists. Lots and lots of lists. Lists. Yeah. So today's session will be successful if we can get to know each other. Now, of course, you're watching this video, but in theory, it's important to get to know one another and to learn more tools to see your college options differently. Now, you're going to be looking them through a much more objective. Yeah, we'll say no, subjective. There we go. Much more subjective lens. They're much more personal and unique in these aspects rather than looking at them quantifiably. So yeah, we're just going to get into that. So very briefly, let's remember, what is College Match? Now, College Match is your GPA and test scores. It is the more quantifiable things that we look at on your report card, essentially, when you're applying for colleges. And this is just to make sure that you are able to keep up with what the college expects of you academically. Right? Right. I'm not going to go too much in depth because I think you guys have had more or less the same idea consistently. So once again, when you're applying for colleges, you want to look for this mid 50% range, and you want to see if you fall into that range. If you see that beautiful 100, that is more or less where you want to lie. And today we're going to get a bit more into how do you know if you fall into that. So yes, and then as well, we have College Fit, which, as we remember, are the sections that are a bit more niche to your personal preferences. but also what you want to get out of your college experience. So they can be divided into 5 different sections. So academic, of course, this refers to how much tutoring is available, how much academic support is available, incentives for the faculty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Social, pretty straightforward. This is your extracurricular activities, but can also rely on the actual demographics of the school, like the diversity, which is a big thing to consider. Career, now how much is your school actually going to prepare you for the career that you are pursuing? Because of course you're going into undergrad to presumably get a career that is in line with whatever it is that you studied afterwards. So how can you maximize on that? Sorry about that, didn't mean to yawn. And then financial, which I personally think is the most important because college is expensive. And, you know, we don't all just have hundreds of thousands of dollars to just fling around. So you want to be able to see your options and see how much you can get out of each economically and what the financial aid package is going to look like once they do deliver it to you. And then other, of course, this is just anything that varies, personal modes of transportation, what's the weather like, what's the environment like, recreation, all these things that really matter, that you might not think matter, are heavily crucial to your college experience. So yeah, that is College Match and College Fit. And today we're going to be getting some more insights from your college searches. Now, of course, you are all working on the assignment. And today we're going to be helping you out with learning that. Oh, not yet. So today we're going to be going over a couple different types of engines to get some more perspective on what college is like. So we're going to start off with College Express. So this is a, hold on, if I can actually think for like a second. Yes, okay. So if you are a huge fan of lists rather than that are based on like a variety of factors, rather than just looking at actual statistics, this is a really good website. It's also really one of the more fun ones. So yeah, we're just going to work around it. So once again, these are all perspectives by students. So just be sure to keep that in mind, that these are made by like professionals or people from the school themselves. So what I want you to first do is I want you to go to browse all lists. All right, you see this right here? And we're just going to take a look at all of these lists. Some of them are a bit more serious, but if you look more carefully, some of them are kind of quirky, for lack of a better word, and kind of really funny. Let's see. You know, you have some more serious ones like four-year colleges enrolling the most Hispanic students. That's important. Or maybe, you know, you're really superficial and shallow and you want to know which ones are the hottest colleges in the nation. Or you want to also know which schools allow pets on campus, the colleges for the most fun-loving people, college with strength in men's golf, Big 12 conference colleges ranked by percentage of undergraduate students to total enrollment. I have no idea what that even means. Let's see. Top schools for consider. Oh, we're not going to go into that. Colleges with fine photography programs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's just like a bunch of different lists that, like I said, some of them are a bit more serious and some of them are a bit more fun. Or at least, or at the very least, they don't take themselves too seriously. And once again, it's just to give some perspective on the student experience here. And yeah, like I said, it really just varies. But remember that these were created by as one person or like a group of people. So it's definitely just mainly perspective and not based on actual like factual rankings. So that's just something to keep in mind. So what I want you to do is I want you to look up one serious, one serious list, and I also want you to look at one more fun one. It can be applicable to you or just in one that you just found funny in general. And look through those schools. You don't have to necessarily pick the one that you want to go to, but just check it out. Like have some fun with it. And then there's a little assignment I'm gonna have you all do. Colleges where geek is chic. Okay, well, back when I was in like high school and middle school, if you were a nerd, you'd get picked on, but whatever. So yeah, so that is College Express. And once again, you're gonna look up two different lists, one more serious and one not so serious, and you're just gonna check them out. And I want you to report back what you find. So moving right along, that was College Express. So that one was very much based on lists and rankings. This, however, is Unigo. Now this is also a scholarship search engine, so I definitely recommend checking out this one because there's always scholarships going around. They're like Nitro or any other like types of scholarship engines like that. So there's always something for you to apply to. Um, and they also are really good about providing factual information about certain colleges. Whereas College Express, once again, is much more subjective. It's much more based on personal experience and perspective. Unigo is a lot more factual and looking at that. So over here, we're going to go to colleges, and it's don't press down on it. You can just hover over it, and we're going to go to where is it? Explore all colleges. Now, let's say I'm interested in, I don't know, let's say UC Davis. So you would type in the school, which once again, if you're talking about a UC, you're going to type it all out and then you're going to add a hyphen. What are you doing? There we go. And look, it's right there. So I want to go to UC Davis. Type that in and check it out. 2019. There's a bunch of different topics related to UC Davis. It has some of the history, for example, talking about where it was found, not sure. Campus topics like political activity, sports culture, Greek life, etc. Admissions requirements. So these are really good and important to consider when you're thinking about the school. SAT range, ACT range, if you took the ACT, student body, housing, diversity, academics, etc., 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 etc. So it goes into all those types of things. So once again, if you're looking for a much more factual, for a much more factual review of the school that you're interested in, I definitely recommend looking at Unigo. So for this one, I just want you to look up one random school. It doesn't have to be the one you want to go to. It can literally be Berkeley, or it can be San Francisco State, any of them. Like you can use ones I just mentioned. And just check it out. Like look at the school, and on the assignment, I think I have you talk a little bit more about that. So just be sure to check that out. And like I said, once it comes time to the schools that you're actually interested in, it's going to be really important that you use Unigo to be checking out the school that you're actually interested in applying to get some more well-rounded information about it. So that's Unigo. And let's get on to our last one. Now, this is the fun one. This is called Campus Reel. Now, I'm sure you've seen a lot. Next year, you're going to start watching a bunch of videos about people doing like, oh, day in my life video at whatever university. And typically they're like 20 minutes long. Ain't nobody got time for that. If you know that reference, I really hope so, because I cannot be that old. So what Campus Reel does is it takes actual videos from students. A lot of times colleges, whenever they send out videos of like what a day in their lives looks like, it's very orchestrated. I don't think it's actually accurate. So these are students themselves who live there, and they record videos. They're really brief about life at the university. So let's see, we have Princeton, Georgia State, CUNY Hunter, Arizona State University, Tempe, Houghton College, another Houghton. So yeah, so let's say maybe I want to look for, let's just say University of California. And let's say I want to check out UC San Diego. And as you can see, we already have a bunch of different videos. We have an introduction, an apartment tour, Celestra's typical school day. That's a very pretty name. Business savvy, room tour, showing you around blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so as you can see, like there's just a bunch of different videos that's a lot more specific of the content and of the schools. And even up here, you have all the different, even more selections if you want to get a bit more specific and start categorizing which ones you want to attend. So let's say I'm looking at the West Coast. All of a sudden, I'm going to only get things in California, Arizona, Washington, etc. Oh, look, if you want to go to Cal Poly, there's that. So yeah, it's a really cool website. You do need to sign up in order to access it, but you just need an email, and they'll ask you some basic information like, oh, what year are you in, your GPA. So just be sure to make an account with that. You can, like, it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. And it's just another one of those ways to get some perspective on school. All right. So yeah, so those are the main three things that we wanted to look at today. So once again, that is College Express, Unigo, and Campus Reel, and you'll have access to all of these on the homework assignment that you were given. But we're also just going to have a quick little serious chat about deadlines and expectations. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit just to, further emphasize. So you have already been assigned your My College List, which is a 4-week assignment. And this is given to you to help you explore your college choices so you have a strong idea of what schools you will apply to next year. So you are going to explore different aspects about the colleges so you are informed about your chances of getting in and your ideal college choice or choices. You will need to dedicate at least an hour or two every week to complete this assignment. And you will learn the different tools and resources to research colleges during your Be College Ready seminar, which of course we are currently partaking in. And you will be given some time to work on the sections. So yeah, once again, this is a 4-week assignment. If you do at least like 1 to 2 weeks to work on this thing, you should be able to knock it out like that. There we go, much more effective snap. So yeah, so some resources that can help you with completing this assignment, coming to YSP advising hours. Those are Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Be sure to come over and ask. Or if you just have a quick little question, feel free to Slack us. I am now in your Slack channels. I know we have such a much deeper connection now that you can access me via an app that I only downloaded a couple months ago. So yeah, so feel free to reach out. We're always here to help you guys to clarify anything that you need. And stay in contact with us. So if you do need help, there are those 2 resources definitely there to help you. You can always also ask your peers as well. So here's some expectations that we do have, because you wouldn't submit bad quality work to anyone, so we don't expect it here. So please turn in high quality work and use what you've been taught in the Be College Ready seminar for each section, and make changes after receiving feedback. Now get used to this process because you're going to be receiving feedback in every single aspect of your life. So it's good to start training yourself now and realizing, you know what, it's not anything personal. They just want to make sure that I'm providing the best thing that I can. And of course, there is like a fine line between like criticism and feedback, but that's for another day. So yeah, another thing that we are expecting is that you meet the checkpoint deadlines below. So every time that you do miss a checkpoint deadline, you will have to sign up to attend at least 1 hour of advising the following week to catch up, or at least to get ahead. So please keep that in mind if you do miss a checkpoint deadline. And the final deadline of this, and I cannot stress this enough, is March 3rd. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to hope that you respond, even though I can't physically hear you. When is it due? March 3rd. Oh my God, thank you so much for responding. So yeah, it is due the 3rd of March. So you're going to see a typo right now. It's March 3rd. So here are your checkpoint deadlines to make sure that you are all catching up. If my computer could actually zoom in, that would be lovely. Oh, that is way too, there we go. So by the 11th of February, you need all 3 of your safety schools completed. So that's just your safety schools, nothing else. I mean, if you have everything else done, that's great. But at the very least, you need your safety schools done by the 11th. By the 18th of February, we're expecting your dream school and your 3 reach schools to be completed. Once again, if you have everything done, that's great. But at the very least, by this point, we're expecting safety, dream, and reach. And then by the 25th, we're expecting all 3 target schools to be done. So once again, this will basically be every single portion of the assignment done by this point. Now, typically you would only get 3 weeks to work on an assignment. However, because this is a very important piece of work in deciding your next couple phases of college, we are going to give you an additional week to make any corrections and changes that we assign you. Now, but like I said, by March 3rd, the assignment needs to be done, but we will give you an additional week to make any final revisions or edits that you need to make in order to make sure that the assignment is as well done as possible. So yeah, so once again, those are the dates right there. Screenshot them, take a picture, do whatever you need. They're right there whenever you need them. So if you want to get these checkpoint deadlines done and you don't want to stress yourself out too much, because of course you are juniors in high school and we do, it gets rough, we know. So the trick is to definitely pace yourself and stick to meeting checkpoint deadlines, to meeting the deadlines above. It should be March 3rd, ignore that. But this means that the March 3rd deadline means that everything must be in by then. Once again, everything has to be in. So all sections must be fully completed and edited based on feedback given to you. Now, if you, now there are some things that can happen if you don't finish, like regarding this assignment, that can result in your membership to the YSP becoming inactive. So if you submit your assignment after the final deadline of March 3rd, so if you submit it on March 4th, you will lose your membership. If your work is not complete, so if there's missing sections or pages, it will become inactive. Or if your work does not meet expectations, as in if it's really low quality, sloppily done, or if you didn't make any changes after feedback was given, that can also result in it. So yeah, those three things are really important to please keep in mind. Once again, the final deadline is March 3rd, and we're expecting it to be in by then, be fully complete, and that it meets expectations, and that it isn't, poorly done. So once again, commitment is the first of our class values. We want the Y Scholars to commit to meeting deadlines and turning in high quality work. Set these standards for yourself so you will have the same mindset when applying to colleges, and of course beyond that. So yeah, once again, please do a good job, pace yourselves. I know it seems like a lot. I know you all have a lot of things also going on in your personal lives. You will get through this, and we are here to help you. So yeah, so that's basically more or less, my voice is cracked, oh my God. So that's more or less it for today. Very quickly, we're just gonna go over the assignment. Well, at least my little exit ticket. So name, of course, ignore that. Yeah, let's delete that, perfect. Name. Now, since you haven't researched for colleges lately, so list some things that you have been choosing to focus on when searching for your schools. This can be any and anything. Just be sure to share that, and then share one thing that you like about each of the schools you have so far. So the schools that you have in mind, or that you've looked at, the ones that have caught your attention the most, share at least one thing that you've liked about each of them. That's all you need to do. Really brief. I only set it up as a long answer text just because it might encourage you all to write a bit more. Just don't submit like a one-word answer. So yeah. So going back to the different search engines that we were talking about earlier. So please use, sorry, brain fart. So using College Express, name 2 lists that you found were interesting. So one serious and one comedic / lighthearted. So once again, you're going to look up one list that's a bit more on the serious note and another that's a more fun and lighthearted one, or it doesn't even have to be like necessarily funny. It just has to be something that isn't as, like best schools for political science or anything. Maybe if it's like, I don't know, like best schools for walking your dog or something. I don't know. So you're just going to do that. And then using Unigo, you're going to research 2 universities of your choice. And what are some things that you've noticed? So like, be sure to list things like statistics, some data, demographics, things about housing, financial aid, just anything that like really stuck out to you. Like, oh, like this was one of the cheaper options, or this one is a bit more expensive. So just do 2 universities of your choice. I think I said 1 earlier. My bad. Just do 2. And like I said, they can be literally anything. You can do San Francisco State and UC Berkeley. Or you can do Stanford and I don't know, Berkeley City College. I don't know. But yeah. So this is kind of a more tedious part of the assignment, but it's to really make sure that you all have it ingrained as to what you need to do. So when do you have to have your 3 safety schools done by? So when is the first deadline? When does your dream school and reach school need to be completed? So when is the second deadline? And when do your 3 target schools need to be done? When is the third deadline? And then what is the final deadline after feedback? I've been over it a lot. Please keep that in mind. And then to make sure that you're really paying attention, list the 3 things that could cause your Y Scholars membership to be inactive. So yeah. So that's more or less it for today. Let's go back. I edited my little goodbye thing, my closing. Isn't it cute? I had a little SpongeBob cartoon just, for some character because I love SpongeBob, and Squidward's little tentacles on there, and I love, Squidward. So yeah, So once again, my name is Diego. My pronouns are he, him, and él. I have my phone number there. I trust y'all are gonna be smart with it. And I have my email right there in case you want to reach out via email. And I'm also in your Slack channel. Like I said, I'm finally in the class of 2023 Slack channel. So yeah, so that brings us to the conclusion. Thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. It's a stressful time, I know, but we're here to help you and work as best as we can. All right, we will chat later, my friends. Bye, y'all.